The castle was alive with energy, a crackling force that could only be described as a gathering storm. The air was thick with tension, suffocating Elena's every breath as she tried to steady herself. Her world, once grounded in history, research, and the safety of knowledge, had been shattered. The secrets of the manuscript, the betrayals of her closest allies, and the horrific realization that she was the key to Vlad's resurrection had thrown her into a nightmare that seemed to have no escape. But now, as the ground beneath Poenari Castle trembled again, Elena understood that there was an escape, a choice. A choice that would determine not just her fate, but the fate of the world. And the price of that choice? The blood of the one she loved. Sebastian. Her heart ached as she thought of him, the man who had been by her side since the beginning, since the first whisper of the manuscript, since the moment they had unearthed the buried truths of Vlad's legacy together. He had been her partner in this nightmare, helping her decode the secrets, uncover the hidden history. He had protected her, loved her, and sacrificed everything to help her. And now, Elena had to make a decision that would break her in ways she couldn't even imagine. Radu's words echoed in her mind, a whisper that cut through the fog of confusion. To stop Vlad's full return, you must kill a direct descendant of Radu. Only then will the seal be broken, and the curse be undone. But that wasn't all. Radu had made it clear that Sebastian was the key to breaking the curse, and, to her horror, Sebastian's bloodline had ties to Vlad's most loyal knight. The same bloodline that had been twisted by betrayal. Sebastian's blood was tainted. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't think. She couldn't do this. But she had no choice. Elena turned, her feet moving as though she were walking through quicksand, toward the small, dimly lit chamber where Sebastian waited. She could hear his voice, muffled through the thick stone walls, but she couldn't make out his words. His presence was a balm to her tortured soul, a reminder of love and warmth in a world that had grown cold with blood and betrayal. As she opened the door, Sebastian was waiting for her, standing near the table where they had once sat together, deciphering the manuscript. His dark eyes, full of concern and confusion, locked onto her as she stepped inside. His gaze softened when he saw her, as though he could see the storm raging behind her eyes. "Elena?" His voice was quiet, filled with worry. "What's going on? I can feel something. Something is wrong. Is it Vlad? Has the ritual?" "It's worse than that," Elena interrupted, her voice shaking with the weight of the words she didn't want to speak. "It's not just Vlad. It's you, Sebastian," he frowned, stepping closer to her. "What do you mean? What's happening?" "Elena," she whispered, "you're a direct descendant of Radu. Vlad's knight. The bloodline." Her voice faltered, her chest constricting. She couldn't meet his gaze anymore. "The ritual, it's tied to your blood, and to break the curse, I have to kill the one I love." A long silence stretched between them, thick with disbelief and horror. Sebastian's face went pale as he took a step back, as though the floor beneath him had been pulled away. He shook his head slowly, the shock setting in. "No," he whispered, his voice a fragile thing. "No, you can't mean that. You don't have to do this." "I do." Elena's voice cracked as tears welled in her eyes. "It's the only way. Vlad will return in full force if I don't. And I can't let that happen. But this isn't just a choice," he argued, his tone growing desperate. "You're talking about killing me. Do you hear yourself, Elena?" The room felt smaller, the walls closing in around them. Her heart pounded in her chest, and for the briefest moment, she could almost feel the weight of the manuscript, its malevolent power calling to her. The ritual wasn't just a series of steps, it was a sacrifice. And now, she stood on the precipice of that very sacrifice, with the man she loved as the offering. "You're not just my lover," Elena said, her voice low and strained. "You're part of Vlad's legacy. The blood of betrayal runs in you. That's why it has to be you. If I kill you, it will break the seal. It will stop Vlad's return." Sebastian's eyes widened, the horror of the truth crashing into him like a wave. "No," His voice trembled with disbelief. This is insane. We can find another way. There has to be another way. Elena shook her head, tears streaming down her face now. There isn't. This is the only way. Sebastian stepped forward, his hand reaching out to touch her face, his fingers trembling as they brushed against her skin. Elena, I love you. And I know you're scared. But you're stronger than this. We can't let this curse control us. We can fight it together. We don't need to kill anyone. But Elena stepped back, feeling the impossible weight of the decision pulling her in two different directions. She wanted to believe him. She wanted to believe that there was another way, that they could fight fate. But deep in her soul, she knew there wasn't. And the choice was clear. Her heart shattered as she reached for the dagger at her side, the one that had been left to her as part of the ritual, a dark symbol of the bloodshed required to break the curse. I don't want to do this, Sebastian, she whispered through a sob. But I have to. The look of pure pain in his eyes almost broke her. Please, don't. We can still stop this. But the darkness in the castle, the pull of Vlad's return, was stronger. It had already begun. And the blood of betrayal must be spilled to stop it. Elena raised the dagger. Her hands trembled as she faced the man who had given her everything, everything. And yet, she could see in his eyes that he knew too. He knew that, no matter how much they loved each other, they were both bound by forces beyond their control. Forces older than either of them. He closed his eyes, waiting for the inevitable. With one last sob, Elena drove the dagger deep into his chest.